Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we'll be looking at Bitcoin and how it has rallied to $41,000 just overnight. Uh, Every day, I feel like Bitcoin at this point is doing no wrong. It's rallied $2,000 roughly in the past day. It went as high as $41,800. Right now, it's at 41.4, and the trend keeps on going. Uh, Today, though, I want to take a quick thought experiment on why might $50,000 be the local top. Now, um, let me try to clarify a bit. I am not saying that 50,000 is the actual top. It could be that it is the local top before a retracement. It could be a retracement back down to the 20 week. It could be a retracement passed down the 20 week. I've argued that when Bitcoin's price gets above a certain degree above the 20-week moving average, it has a very difficult time on sustaining that. And we know in the past that the 20-week moving average is critical in order to maintain the bull run. Right now, Bitcoin is 140% above the 20-week moving average. We are 40% away, folks, from 182%, which was the peak in 2018. And in 2013, the peaks were a lot higher. It was 218 and 308, 329% above the 20 week. And also before that, it was 373. Now, I don't think we'll get as high as 373, but a number to look at is 182% above the 20-week moving average. Right now, we're at 140. If this isn't called a little overextended to the very least, I don't know what is. As you may know, I've already sold roughly 10% of my position in Bitcoin. Um, and full disclosure, even though I'm talking about a top at $50,000, I am not selling all my Bitcoin position at $50,000. I might, however, that I'm thinking now $50,000 in my overall plan was a little short of my third sell target. However, if things progress like they are right now for the next 2 weeks, and I'll explain why in 2 weeks, then um, then I'll have to reconsider. I'll most likely put a trailing stop in at just under 50,000, maybe 5-10% below, and just ride it. And ride my third position as high as it goes. We'll see where it takes me. But that remains to be seen. I still need to see what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks, I think are fairly critical for a number of reasons. One is the distance to the moving average. Right now, we are increasing. So from 67% to 78% to 78% to 109% to 140%. We are exponentially growing. Okay, exponentially growing. It could be very well next week we'll see 180%. Could be in 2 weeks we'll see 180%. But the distance between the 28th week of the 28th and the week of Jan 4th really showed that it's exponentially increasing. It was about 31% difference between the two last week and this week. The week before that and last week was a difference about 22%. So we could very well see 180% by next week. Again, I think it's insane that we're talking about these numbers already, and it's just 8 days into 2021. Now, um, this is one thing to consider. That is the distance to the moving average. That's one thing to consider. The next one is the RSI. Right now, we're at 95.34 on the RSI. I'm going to flip it to the BLX. Uh, and so just keep in mind that it's closing price. So right now it's priced at 39,453. It doesn't add the extra $2,000 Bitcoin's gained today. However, if we take an average move of increase of the RSI for the past 5 weeks, it's about 2.5 RSI a week. Having said that, next week will be 97 RSI if this trend continues. The week after that, we're over 100 on the RSI. And this is why I say this is critical. The next 2 weeks are fairly important because right now we're in the mid 90s. We're flirting with the levels of 2013. Okay, we've already gone past as higher on the RSI than 2017. We are now looking at 2013, where we saw an RSI of 96.51 and then 99.02. We're already at those peaks, which is to me insane. And I mean, we know that the RSI can stay high for a long time. It's been high. It's been technically overbought since October. But 100 on the RSI is just bananas. And I can't see any reason why there wouldn't be a turnaround in that time. And when we account for the increase of the RSI, where does that take us? It takes us to around $50,000 in 2 weeks. If this all happens in 2 weeks and the trend continues like this, Bitcoin can hit $50,000 in 2 weeks. I mean, having said that, it can hit it tomorrow. It can hit it in 3. But keep an eye on the RSI. Keep an eye on how quickly the price is moving week over week, because $50,000 is not that far away. It is about a 20% move to where we are. Again, insane. It is insane. And when we account for these things, Bitcoin is nearing a top. Now, what are the implications of this? Well, I mean, it could be the situation is getting pretty precarious. The scenario of Bitcoin moving sideways from here, um, possible, but I don't know. We are clearly very, very overbought. And even when we look at 2017, when we got to the high 80s, or high 70s, mid 80s, uh, we retraced down to the 20 week. It was a 30% correction. So that's one thing to consider. Uh, a major retracement is on the cards now, and unless or it keeps on going up. But I think this can't last forever, despite what people say. This can't last forever. It does require a retracement, and from here to the 20-week moving average, we're looking at a 56% move down. When we look at the peak of 2017 to the when it hit the weekly moving average, it was a 49.34% retracement. We're already, if it retraces from here, we are it's already a bigger retracement to the 20-week than 2017. I don't know what people are saying when they're talking about that Bitcoin can never go down from here. And that is another point. Sentiment. Sentiment is insane. Take a look at Reddit and see how, like, you can't count with your fingers on how many people are saying that the dips are gone, that this is the new normal, that Bitcoin is going to trend up forever. And look how long look how long sentiment really changed from that. It took how many weeks? I would say it took 42 weeks. It took less than a year for the narrative to change from this is a bad investment to this is the new normal. This is going to go up forever. And when you see polarizing sentiment like that within a year, these people are clearly not thinking rationally about this. Anyone with a finance degree would tell you that this is pretty insane and this is really hard to believe, and that it's really hard to think that this will go on forever. When we look at the fear and greed index, we're at a 93. But having said that, we've been here for quite a long time. We've been in the we're in the 90s since November. So take it for what you will with the fear and greed index. It's somewhat of a helpful indicator, but I wouldn't place my entire faith on it. But even not even accounting for fear and greed, when you look at how quickly the price has moved, the exponential growth, this is pretty insane. I mean, 2017 didn't have moves like this. Really. It hasn't. The fact that we're this high above the 20-week moving average and we haven't seen a retracement yet, the fact that um the RSI is this high, this is almost unprecedented. I say almost because you could compare the moves of 2013 to something like we're seeing today. So what happens? Um, a retracement or continuing the trend is right now on the cards. I see it hard to believe that we'll move sideways. I think we're simply too overbought for that to happen anymore. The best scenario would have happened of that happening would have been a 20K, but we only moved sideways for like 2 weeks until the trend kept going up. And I know I said that once the price of Bitcoin goes past its prior all time high, price accelerates, but within reason. This is insane. This is simply insane. We have not had a break of moving up really since October. And because of that, I am readjusting my selling points, as I said before, because I feel like $50,000 will be a target now. If it does reach that high, then I will put a trailing stop and ride the wave. I've already sold 10%. I sold like 8% of my Bitcoin portfolio at 36,000, sold another at 28. The next one was supposed to be around 56, but we'll see about that. If the trend continues and goes over 50, I'll throw a trailing stop loss on 50 and then ride it. That is an idea that I've been rummaging around for the past few days, because when I'm looking at this, it's just insane. And another implication is altcoins. If Bitcoin corrects straight down to the 20-week, if it corrects 50%, and even worse, if it breaks the 20-week moving average, then my altcoin positions, your altcoin positions are going to uh, become far worse. Um, and that is bad news bears. The only thing that can, that could be a possibility is that Bitcoin dips, even if it dipped 30%, we come back down to $30,000. And that would be bullish. That for me, that would be a saving grace, and that would be something that I'd be really happy about, because that means that all coins are still in the game. If as long as Bitcoin either doesn't A, go back down to the 20-week in short amount of time, or B, break the 20-week, all coins are still in play. And because of that, I won't sell. Having said that, I have started putting stop losses on Ethereum. I have a trailing stop loss on Ethereum of my first sell on Ethereum. I'm going to see how high it goes. I put a stop loss because I'm uncertain. Um, I don't know how high this goes, and because Ethereum's greatly affected by Bitcoin, it's really about what Bitcoin's going to do. And either Bitcoin's going to continue the trend, or it's going to correct hard. And either one scenario is not good for Ethereum. So I throw a stop loss on that. Link, I haven't made any moves yet. I think I'm going to wait a bit. Uniswap, not selling it for now. This is something I'm going to hold for the duration of the period. Basic attention token is something that I hold, and something that I'm prepared to keep buying until I see fit. Celsius would be one that's gravely affected too, considering where it is. It's already correcting pretty hard. It went down 31% this week against Bitcoin. So we'll see. If the trend continues, or if we see a mini correction with Bitcoin, kind of like what we saw when we saw $20,000, when we saw it go down a pretty good chunk from 20,000 to 16, but it holds 16 and we move sideways from 16. Great, altcoins are still on the cards. Alt season's still here, and that would still be good. I would still be bullish on my altcoin positions. Q1 will still be a good move. But that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin right now. Keep an eye on the RSI. Keep an eye on how high Bitcoin's price is above the 20-week moving average. Also, keep in mind that because of the price acceleration, the moving average is also going, it's lagging behind. It is now increasing by roughly $1,400 a week. Okay, a week. Um, Next week it's going to be 18,006. The following is going to be $20,000. Just keep that in mind. The 20 week in 3 weeks is gonna, if the trend continues, is gonna hit $20,000 in 3 weeks. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.